is a game following Thomas, an innocent is a game following Soren, an innocent. Soren loves going on his walks. He's always able to see his friends, like Flame Guy Jr. and his many pets, And of course, we get to play as Soren. We get to play as the victim. The game begins in this fairly standard house. It's honestly a bit drab, at least when you compare it to our multicolored protagonist. But speaking of, this is Skittles. He's a pretty aloof, carefree guy who's got something to say about the morning. Oh dear, how long was I out for? My head is killing me. Maybe he had a rough night, but the day has to start eventually. Skittles makes his way past the assortment of incredibly fire animal photos and into his basement. Just under the stairs is a pretty conspicuous trash bag, but he'll take care of that tomorrow. After a brief conversation with the talking computer, Skittles heads into his home office's closet where his house key is. Though, right next to it is a missing poster for a Mr. Flame Guy. Right. Someone should toss those bunny remains already. It's what got them into that fight, after all. And God, his stuff is still right here, too. Whose are these again? If Skittles forgot about it, then it probably wasn't important. He unlocks his front door and steps outside into the cloudy afternoon. The gray of the sky and the white of the snow don't exactly make for a picturesque environment, but the warm glow of the lampposts and the bundles of clothing around Skittles' friends leave the town cozy in its own way. Cozy enough, perhaps, for Skittles to ask for some help. I'm starting to feel dizzy. I'm going to go around and ask for food. Maybe someone has something for me. That's a bit odd. Skittles' kitchen was actually decently stocked. There was even a whole blueberry pie just sitting on the counter. Is there something specific that Skittles wants to eat? Hey, Junior. Lovely day we are having.
Oh, Sparks. It's you again.
Huh?
Listen, mister. I don't have anything for you.
But Junior, look around you. I need this food.
No. Leave me alone, please.
Okay. Skittles backs away from the pen of bunnies. Junior's had a lot to deal with, especially with his father's sudden disappearance. And as hungry as Skittles is, he can't help but feel responsible for the boy's stress in more ways than... If only Flame Guy gave him the time to properly explain what actually happened to Thomas. To who? Huh. And when did Skittles even get here? These blacking out events are something he's been used to, but they've been happening far more often recently. He really needs something to eat. Hey Jess, how are things?
Hello, dear Skittles. Well, I am checking up on my garden. Fruit should be sprouting soon. Would you like some once they grow out?
Oh no, I couldn't possibly take some from you.
Why?
I got a pretty strict, diet.
Alright.
Of course. How could he have forgotten? Taking that would violate one of the major... The what? God, his head is killing him. It's never been this bad. He needs food. Now. Skittles drags himself to the local fishing pond. He knows that someone here can help him. Hell, his face is so familiar. But what was his name again?
Soren.
Oh, Zachary. What you been up to?
Fishing. It's been a hobby of mine. Are you okay?
I'm perfectly fine. Why?
You've been forgetting a lot recently.
What? That's nonsense.
Are you sure your new diet is doing you any good?
Duh. I've been feeling a lot better.
If you say so.
Now that you mention it, though, I'm out of supply. You don't have any fish I can have, do you?
No can do.
Duh, how come?
Soren, these fish are for me. You know this. I don't share my catch.
Ah, right. Well, that avenue's closed. But God almighty, the pain in his head has only gotten worse. It's like there's an anvil pressing down on him, crushing him with this... There's this guilt that Skittles needs to get off his mind. Zachary's his friend, right? He's been there before. Surely he can help him out now. Hey, about Flame Guy.
Who?
Right. That's not his name. That wasn't ever his name. Why did that even come to mind? Sorry, I didn't mean, I meant to... Andreas. About Andreas.
Don't want to get involved.
Huh?
You two need to figure it out. Me and Jess are agreeing to stay out of it all. I have no idea what happened, and we need to keep it that way. It's none of my business.
It's completely reasonable, but it's not helping Soren. Soren? Or was it Skittles? He can't tell anymore, everything's blurring, and if he doesn't get something to stop these grating pulses of pain, he's going to faint. But just right there, right next to Zachary, is his bucket of fish. It's alive enough, right? He can't afford to think twice about it. Soren darts towards the bucket and... Soren comes to his senses in a completely darkened version of the town. The snow and the sky share that same monochrome dynamic from before, but with neither buildings nor streetlights to disrupt the melancholy, all that remains is this bleak, somber environment. That being said, having had his fill, Soren himself is doing better, albeit not significantly. Whoa, where am I? Oh dear, I'm dizzy. I feel so sick. Where was I before this happened? Soren's memory is failing him again. Whatever's been pushing him to eat so much raw food clearly isn't doing wonders for neither his physical nor mental well-being, but it's almost like he can't live without it now. And as if on cue, a figure reveals itself in the distance. Or has it always been there, lurking in the back of his mind? Huh? What is that? The figure is faceless and unknown, with its only identifying features being the fire rings on its torso and over its head, like a halo of sorts. It appears to be welcoming Soren with open arms as an old friend. The gesture feels full of warmth and belonging, but something within Soren is screaming against this. Telling him to get as far away from this oddly familiar figure as possible. And yet, there's something to this familiarity. Soren's life has felt clearly incomplete recently. Even when we don't consider the gaps of memory, which is really a serious problem, there are so many lone puzzle pieces that just aren't adding up. What happened between him and Flame Guy? No, Andreas. What's with Soren's obsession with raw or even live food? Why are Thomas's belongings still in his house? Hell, who even is Thomas? Why does that name keep appearing? As dangerous as this seems, Soren needs answers, and there's only one real way for him to get them. He embraces the figure and dives deeper into his subconscious. Soren awakes in this void of sorts, with a multitude of stairs leading to nowhere, in similar fashion to his own memories. He descends through this open door and comes face to face with himself, unadulterated by the hallucinations plaguing the first world he woke up in. Do I regret what I did? I don't think so. Is that a lie? Is how I feel, right? This is what we need. But I hurt him and got away with it. We don't regret it. He deserved it. I want to believe that, but I'm scared. Do I even want to face any of them anymore? I don't think so. Is he right about all of this? I think so. My head hurts thinking about it. All of it. Soren's keeping this truth deliberately vague. He clearly hurt someone he cared about, but who exactly? Was it Flame Guy? No, Andreas? Is that why he's missing? Or was it someone else? Someone precious enough to warrant keeping their belongings even after they're gone? He can't know for sure yet. His subconscious is still intact enough to put up walls, and Soren's not going to find any meaningful answers with them still up. So, he'll have to tear them down. He falls back onto habits of the past and approaches the button. This town isn't safe anymore. I'm being watched. Can't turn my back against it. Soren steels himself and rushes out of his bed. This may just be a flashback, or a hallucination of one, but it feels too real. It feels dangerous. He proceeds through the darkened halls of his house and finds the source of his now reasonable caution. A figure that's too happy to be there, equipped with the same fire ring symbol that the figure in World 2 had. Whatever group they're part of, whatever group Soren was part of, seems to be a relentless ghost of his past, haunting him even now. But as long as he consciously keeps its influence in check.
I know you're not really dead. I saw you run out of Mr. Soren's house. Why didn't you come back home then? I know Mom doesn't miss you, but I do.
The bunny and fish problem is... he'll get to it when he gets to it. There's only so many of the group's influences he can fight. But he has to stop hurting the people around him. He has to get to the root of these memories. Soren keeps a watchful eye over the figure and rushes towards the Andreas residence. There should be a shovel around here somewhere, so where is it? Every second he spends searching is another second that the figure can use to sneak into the shadows, and... bad things happen when you touch that grass. I'm all too familiar with it. And Soren doesn't hesitate. He grabs the shovel. He knows that stepping outside this hallucinatory comfort zone of greener grass will most likely unveil truths that he kept buried for a reason, but people have gotten hurt. He can't afford to let this cycle continue. Not anymore. Soren shovels away the mountain of snow and nearly trips onto the iced over pond, except it's just gone, now entirely absent from this fishing spot. Good. This is a dream, then. Surely he can find more answers in a deeper sect of his mind.
I always wish things would just get better on their own. But hell, I can't ignore this. I saw the state of your house, your room, your basement. The smell sickened me. It all did. I blame myself for not taking note of your mental space, for not noticing when you started coming out less, when the curtains stayed closed, when you stopped opening the mail. I told myself you were tired, that you just needed time. That everyone drifts for a while, but this isn't drifting. This is drowning with the lights on. And the worst part, I kept walking past the signs, because if I admitted how bad it was, I'd have to admit that I let it get that bad. You were right here, screaming in silence, and I called it peace because it was quieter that way.
Andreas.
Soren, I'm sorry.
Soren, now in attire that's far too familiar for him, leaves the table. Knowing that he hurt someone that genuinely cared about him was one thing, but rediscovering that memory and the guilt buried with it is... it's something else. It's suffocating. This room is too small, the walls are inching closer, everything's closing in. Bad things happen when you overstep your comfort zone to touch dead grass, and Soren needs a way back to the greener side. He crawls over to the lone cake slice sitting in the corner and... calm. He's calm. His monochrome surroundings are serene, filled with an endless column of kneeling statues. Soren, now back in his original body, can finally breathe again. He takes this temporary period of serenity to document his thoughts. I can't remember the last time I slept peacefully. But this feeling continues to fester. The guilt, the yearning for a good life grows. It's good, though. I'm glad that I'm starting to find myself. Thomas would be proud of me. This is the correct path to healing. God, oh my head. I don't believe I've been here before. In fact, this place isn't familiar at all. It's starting to freak me out a bit, actually. Why is it never ending? It's entirely possible that this mind space too is just an hallucinatory illusion blocking out the rest of his memories, both good and bad. Regardless of what this place is though, its cracks are showing, physically demonstrated by the presence of a single bunny at the end of the road. Soren's mental stability is beginning to crumble once again, and just like in previous worlds, he needs to leave, both for himself and to find the answers he's yet to uncover about the group that caused this all. Soren tentatively reaches out to the bunny. He's fallen into what I can only describe as a desperately hidden corner of his subconscious. Soren's manic expression, paired with that same firing motive again, almost screams out to us that this mindscape was formed during a time when he wasn't completely himself, when he was indoctrinated in that group, no, that cult. The Ringzol NPCs around the map note his thoughts during that period. I like it here. This place is my safe space. I think I'm making the right... I was unsure at first, but they were the only set of arms that would take me in. And no, I belong here. I feel at home. At a glance, it's comforting dialogue, but the near hostile environment pierces through the facade. What healthy group would lead to Soren's consumption of small animals raw and his practically depressive symptoms? I'm not ready yet. Give me a bit more time. I'll be ready for it. You know good things will come my way. That's what Mother tells me. So just give me more time. More time for what? What did Soren have to do or sacrifice during his time in this cult? Perhaps that familiar figure ahead can give us some answers. I don't know, man. What if everything we've been holding on to just falls apart? I keep thinking about what's coming and it feels like I'm staring into a storm I can't escape. I just keep thinking, what if one day it's too much? What if I can't handle it?
Soren, I'll be there to handle it with you. Life always changes, sure. That doesn't mean that you have to face those changes alone. Not now, and not ever.
You always make it sound so simple.
Because the truth is simple. You and me, we're not going to break. Whatever comes, we'll carry it together. And even if the storm rages on, you'll have me as an anchor.
Promise me that won't change.
I promise. The future can bring whatever it wants. As long as I have you, it's going to be alright.
It was a beautiful conversation. There's no doubt in my mind that Thomas meant that final line with all of his being, and that fact alone makes this whole situation that much scarier.
It feels so much easier when I stop fighting. You know, it's funny. I used to think people in groups like this were brainwashed. Weak even. But maybe I was the weak one. I kept trying to carry everything myself. Every thought, every fear, every decision. It's exhausting, isn't it? Always wondering what's right, what's wrong, who to trust, who to be. Now, I don't have to. It's so freeing. I wake up and there's already a plan. I don't have to guess anymore. They tell me what's real, what matters, what I'm meant for, and I believe them. Isn't that what everyone wants? To believe in something?
That's right.
It feels good to stop fighting. It feels good to belong. Maybe this is what it means to finally be free.
And thus, despite their shared dog tags, despite their shared experiences as veterans of unspeakable horrors, they both succumbed to the cult, to its ever so comforting influence. Although, perhaps it was their experience in war that made it that much more appealing, to find a belonging after losing so many good men. But we can't know. Thomas has been completely absent from the story up until this point, and based on Soren's previous statements about him, it's not a stretch to say that he's most likely dead. But Soren is still alive, mentally unstable and hallucinating, but alive. And so as long as he breathes, he can still make decisions. he can still choose to fight the cult's influence, just as he did in the... What? He did? Ah, his head's throbbing again. This may all just be a series of hallucinations, but the pain feels real nonetheless. He needs to proceed. He's just on the brink of answers, and giving up here would mean undoing all of the effort it took to get to this position. Soren steels himself once again. If he has to fall back onto horrible habits to get these answers, he will. Soren's back in the outskirts of his town. He holds a skeptical and tired expression, clearly wondering what to believe. That group was so welcoming to both him and Thomas. So why does he have such a bad feeling about them? Hopefully, this figure ahead has some answers for him. You're Rune?
Who's asking?
It's Soren. I'm, new. With them.
Yeah, I can tell.
I've heard a lot about you. They said you used to be one of us. I wanted to know why you left.
Left? You don't leave. You claw your way out.
They're not like that. You just don't understand.
I said what I said, word for word.
But everyone there seems peaceful.
They always look peaceful before they start asking what you're willing to give.
What do you mean?
If you have to ask, you're already halfway gone.
I don't know, it just feels like...
Like coming home? Like someone finally understands you?
Yeah. How did you...
That's how it starts. They give you belonging, then they teach you what it costs.
You really make it sound like it's a trap.
That's for you to decide.
Then why does Soren feel like he's already made up his mind about the cult? Right. This is all just his memory when you ignore all the hallucinations. And of course, this talk was a big part of why Soren was able to escape the... But speaking of... Despite the habits they ingrained within his very soul, Soren still can't remember much of his actual time in it. How traumatic were those events for them to be suppressed to this degree? What exactly happened to him and to Thomas? Soren needs to know. Even if not to clear the air between himself and Andreas, he at least needs to be able to lay Thomas to rest properly. He can't even remember where his grave is. Despite the risks, he takes another dive. One layer closer to the truth. One layer closer to the trauma. The recreation of the cultish town in Soren's memories is immediately off-putting. It's got everything a normal town would need. A market, a church, a plaza, hell, even enough set of streetlights to keep the locals more than illuminated during the night. Someone unacquainted with this cult would most likely see it as a cute village of houses. But the darkened tones of Soren's monochrome vision are more than enough proof to say otherwise. The residents follow a similar, albeit benign pattern. Just take a look for yourself.
I'm making pineapple pizza.
Yeah.
As long as there's no meat on it, I should be okay.
Why?
Doctrine-free. Cooked meat is prohibited. We only consume meat when raw and blessed.
Blessed?
Yeah, like... allowed.
Oh. That explains Soren's horrible eating habits, to say the least. And that's not even the most disturbing factor here. The bulk of the population in this town are really just real, genuine people. They have their own ambitions and primarily think and act for themselves, which is why their mere presence here is such a good indicator of how dangerous this cult is. As Thomas and Rune addressed earlier, if they can indoctrinate people just like you, who's to say that you won't be indoctrinated either? Soren makes his way to the plaza as steadily as he can. It may not be real, but it's still unnerving. Unnerving how Soren still feels fragments of belonging and peace in this town, despite the memories he's uncovered. Thankfully, he feels no inclination to pray nor worship the kneeling statue at the center. It's the exact same as those that plagued him in his previous memories, an unfortunate indicator that the cult's influences are still rooted deep within his psyche. He presses forward nonetheless, looking for any clues that might give leads to Thomas's fate.
This was a mistake all along.
What are you talking about?
You will regret this. Save yourself, Soren. Do not let him take you over.
That's incredibly odd. This is a memory of the cultish town, right? Which has to mean that this individual spoke to Soren during his time there. Because if this individual tried to stop him from digging deeper into his memories just now, in this present moment, it means that Soren's unconscious is actively fighting to stop him from delving deeper. Just how traumatic were Soren's memories of Thomas when the two were in the cult? What happened to them to cause such a big conflict between Soren and Andreas? How horrific was it to lead Andreas to ignore all parental duties altogether and isolate himself? Soren's got a pretty good idea of it, and that's exactly what pushes him to proceed to the church. He strides past the floating fire ring, the symbol of this cult, and reaches for the church's front doors.